Welcome back to the deep dive. So you shared a link about this online program
Right.
called Master Your OCD,
Uh-huh.
created by Nathan Peterson, and you were kind of curious about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive into it today and see what it's all about,
Yeah.
what it offers, how it works,
Awesome.
and whether it might be something worth checking out.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting how this program seems to really zone in on those things that people with OCD, really struggle with.
Yeah.
Like instead of just saying, "Oh, you have anxiety," it really is talking about, those intrusive thoughts and the feeling of losing control, which is often what's at the heart of OCD.
Right. You're right. It definitely seems to be tapping into those pain points.
Yeah.
And then it's presented as a solution that is accessible and affordable,
Mm-hmm.
especially compared to traditional therapy, which I know is a barrier for a lot of folks.
It's a barrier.
And they lay out this simple 3-step process. Buy the program, start the course, and get your life back.
Okay.
Sounds promising, but I'm curious about what the program actually entails.
Yeah, so what's interesting is how it balances structure with flexibility. So it's a self-paced online course with over 40 videos,
Wow. Yeah.
each ranging from 5 to 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
which can be really appealing for, busy people or people who just,
Sure.
don't have a lot of time.
Right.
But what sets it apart, I think, is that it goes beyond just generic advice
Yeah.
and it delves into specific OCD themes.
Okay.
And this is crucial because OCD can look like so many different things.
Totally. And the website mentions guidance for a range of fears and anxieties.
Yeah.
From, contamination concerns to relationship anxieties, even those intrusive thoughts
Mm-hmm.
that can be so distressing. So,
Right.
yeah, it seems like they're trying to cater to a pretty wide spectrum of OCD experiences.
Exactly. And they seem to be drawing on evidence-based treatments like exposure and response prevention,
Okay.
which is, kind of considered like the gold standard for OCD therapy.
Hmm.
And the program also incorporates worksheets, an action plan, and even a supportive online community, which is great because that can be really helpful for people who are, feeling isolated in their struggles.
Absolutely. So, okay. So this is where things get interesting, I think.
Okay.
The program is divided into 3 modules.
Okay.
Module 1 focuses on understanding OCD, so like the basics. Why do I have this? Can it be cured? What are the different themes?
Mm-hmm.
They also address issues like medication and reassurance seeking,
Right?
which are common concerns for a lot of people. So it seems like they're laying a solid foundation of knowledge before diving into the practical aspects.
Yeah, and that's a really smart approach because a lot of the distress associated with OCD stems from not understanding what's happening.
Sure.
So I think it's great that they address that up front.
Uh-huh. So then Module 2
Yes.
shifts gears into applying treatment skills,
Yeah.
specifically exposure and response prevention.
Right.
So they break down how to start treatment.
Mm-hmm.
They explain different types of exposure. They help you choose the right exposures.
Yeah.
And even guide you through building a hierarchy, which are all crucial steps in, tackling OCD head on.
Yeah. It's great that they provide that structured guidance because it can be so overwhelming to try to figure that out on your own.
Right. Then Module 3
Mm-hmm.
focuses on maintaining progress.
Okay.
So making sure those positive changes stick. So they address dealing with new OCD themes that might pop up.
Right.
And even provide strategies for involving family members in a supportive way.
Okay.
So it really does seem like a holistic approach.
It does, yeah. They've clearly thought about the long-term aspect of managing OCD. What stands out to you about these modules? Is there anything that particularly piques your curiosity?
I think I'm really intrigued by how they approach exposure and response prevention. Because
Yeah.
I know it's an effective method, but it can be a bit daunting for some.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see how they make it feel more manageable and less overwhelming.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's often where a structured program like this can be beneficial.
Yeah.
It just provides that framework and support that's needed to put these techniques into practice effectively.
Mm-hmm. And plus, they offer bonus materials.
Oh, yes, the bonuses.
So they offer extra treatment skill forms, 17 additional videos specifically for different OCD themes,
Wow. Okay.
and access to a supportive online community.
That's fantastic.
It seems like they're going above and beyond to provide, comprehensive support.
Absolutely, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
really commendable.
And then there's the man behind the program, Nathan Peterson.
Yes.
So he is a licensed OCD specialist
Okay.
with experience in private practice and online settings.
Mm-hmm.
He even has a popular YouTube channel,
Oh, wow.
which suggests he's pretty good at explaining complex topics in an engaging and relatable way.
That's great.
And the testimonials on the website speak volumes about his kindness and compassion.
Yeah.
People, feel understood and less alone when they interact with them,
That's so important.
which is so essential when you're dealing with something as isolating as OCD.
Yeah.
It seems like he genuinely cares about helping people.
Yeah, he brings both the expertise and that genuine desire to help, and that combination is so powerful when it comes to mental health.
Absolutely. So who exactly is this program for?
Well, they seem to be targeting a pretty wide audience,
Yeah.
which makes sense. OCD can affect anyone.
Hmm.
The website states it's for individuals with OCD or family members seeking help,
Okay.
those wanting to gain control over their thoughts and compulsions,
Sure.
and those seeking a more affordable treatment option.
Yeah. Seems like they're casting a wide net.
Making it accessible to people from all walks of life.
Right. Especially those who might not have the time or resources for traditional therapy.
Exactly, which brings us to the cost, a big consideration for many.
Definitely. Master Your OCD includes immediate access to all the materials, over 40 self-paced videos, a 27-page journal, various worksheets, bonus exposure ideas, those 17 extra videos we mentioned,
Oh.
and it's all available for a one-time payment of $297.
Okay, that feels pretty reasonable.
Yeah, especially compared to weekly therapy sessions.
Yeah, compared to traditional therapy, which can often cost hundreds of dollars per session, this program does present itself as a more cost-effective option.
Right.
Now, I know people often have questions about online programs like this.
Absolutely. The website has a comprehensive FAQ section
Good.
addressing common concerns.
Great.
One question that often comes up is, will it help my specific type of OCD?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
Oh, yeah.
OCD manifests in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But, instead of focusing on the specific content of obsessions,
Right.
this program seems to target the underlying mechanisms of OCD,
Okay.
so the uncertainty and how your body responds to those false signals.
Gotcha. And they also list a wide range of OCD themes
Yeah.
that the program covers, from HOCD and ROCD
Okay.
to scrupulosity, contamination, fears, harm, OCD, and many more.
Mm-hmm.
So it appears they're trying to be as inclusive as possible.
Yeah, that's encouraging.
Another common question is, can I go at my own pace?
Right. Understandably, when you're fitting something new into your schedule.
Sure. And the great news is that this program is entirely self-paced.
Okay, cool.
They encourage people to rewatch videos as needed and reuse worksheets as they see fit.
Yeah, that's great.
So it offers a lot of flexibility that traditional therapy often lacks.
Mm-hmm.
But what if someone has questions along the way?
Right. Well, that's where the supportive Facebook community comes in.
Okay.
It acts as a hub where users can connect with each other, share experiences, ask questions, offer encouragement.
Nice.
Having that built-in support system can be a real asset.
It's like having a group of people who truly understand what you're going through,
Yeah,
ready to offer support and advice.
absolutely.
Speaking of support,
Yeah.
the FAQ also addresses a question that has become increasingly common
Mm-hmm.
in today's world of subscription services.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a recurring subscription fee?
Right.
And the answer is a reassuring no.
Good.
It's a one-time payment for lifetime access.
That's great.
It's refreshing to see that. They're focusing on providing value for money without locking people into ongoing costs.
Absolutely.
Another concern that's top of mind for many is the creator qualified?
Yeah, of course.
So they address this up front,
Okay.
highlighting Nathan Peterson's 13-plus years of experience as a licensed therapist, specializing in OCD and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
They also emphasize his track record of success,
Right.
evidenced by the numerous testimonials and his popular YouTube channel.
So they're clearly focused on establishing trust and credibility.
Yeah, and honestly, from what we've explored so far,
Yeah.
they seem to be doing a pretty good job.
I agree, but we've only just scratched the surface, haven't we?
That's right. There's still much more to uncover in the next part of our deep dive. We'll delve deeper into the specifics of exposure and response prevention,
Okay.
explore some of the unique features of this program,
Right.
and consider both its potential benefits and limitations. So stay tuned.
Sounds good. So as we delve a little bit deeper into Master Your OCD, one thing that's really striking me is how they manage to balance
Yeah?
that structured guidance with empowering individuals to, actually take charge of that recovery.
Right, because overcoming OCD is not just about passively absorbing information.
Exactly.
It's about actively applying those tools and techniques
Yeah,
to your specific situation.
absolutely. And that's where their focus on exposure and response prevention really shines, I think.
Okay.
It's not a quick fix. It's a process that requires, really facing your fears head on
Yeah.
gradually and learning to manage that anxiety without resorting to those compulsions.
Well, and those compulsions can feel so urgent in the moment.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like,
Yeah, it can be so intense.
yeah,
That's where the program's kind of step-by-step approach can be really helpful.
okay.
They break the process down into these manageable chunks,
Yeah.
starting with identifying your unique fears and triggers. And then you create a personalized hierarchy of exposures,
Oh.
starting with, those that cause the least anxiety and gradually working your way up.
I like that they provide worksheets
Yeah.
and examples to guide you through each step.
Yeah, it's like having a virtual coach
Right.
in your pocket,
Yeah.
helping you navigate that whole process.
And it seems like they do a good job of emphasizing understanding that whole OCD cycle.
Yeah, that's really insightful. The program helps you recognize the thought patterns, the feelings, and the behaviors that keep you stuck in that loop of anxiety and compulsions.
So it's not just about managing the symptoms. It's about addressing those underlying mechanisms that drive those symptoms in the first place.
Yes, and that's where I think lasting change can really happen.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about some of those unique features that make Master Your OCD stand out.
Okay.
Those 17 bonus videos covering specific OCD themes I think are pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's huge.
It really shows that they're moving beyond a one-size-fits-all approach.
Absolutely.
And recognizing the nuances and complexities of different OCD presentations.
And that's so crucial because OCD can be so incredibly isolating.
Right.
So feeling like your fears are understood and that you're not alone
Yeah.
in your struggles
Right.
can be both validating and empowering.
And then, of course, there's that supportive Facebook community,
Yeah.
which is a fantastic addition.
Yeah, it creates a space for people to connect, share their experiences, ask questions, offer each other encouragement.
Yeah, it's a virtual support system that can be, a lifeline for some.
It can also be really valuable for family members
Right.
who are trying to understand and support their loved ones. Often they feel just as lost and helpless as the person struggling with OCD.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's switch gears a bit and talk about some potential benefits and limitations.
Okay.
A big advantage is clearly the accessibility is available online, on demand, allowing people to access it from anywhere in the world
Yeah.
at any time convenient for them.
That's a game changer for people who might face barriers to traditional therapy,
Yeah.
whether it's cost, location, or even the stigma
Yeah.
associated with seeking mental health help.
Right. Another major benefit, I think, is the self-paced nature of the program.
Absolutely.
People can work through the material at their own speed, revisit sections as needed, and really customize the experience.
Yeah, it's like a personalized curriculum for
Yeah.
overcoming OCD.
Now, it is important to acknowledge
Yes, definitely.
that online programs like this aren't a replacement for professional therapy.
Right.
For some individuals, working one-on-one with a therapist might be necessary,
Yeah.
particularly if they have complex needs or are dealing with really severe symptoms.
Yeah, it's essential for people to be realistic about their needs and expectations.
Right.
This program can be a fantastic resource,
Sure.
but it's not a magic solution for everyone.
Right. So what about some potential limitations? One that comes to mind is the lack of personalized feedback.
That's true.
While the program provides worksheets and exercises, there's no direct interaction with Nathan Peterson himself.
Right. And for some people, that direct feedback and guidance from a therapist can be incredibly valuable.
Sure.
However, the supportive Facebook community could help to fill that gap to some extent.
Right.
It provides an avenue for people to receive feedback and support from their peers.
Right. And that peer support can be very powerful.
Yeah.
Another potential limitation, I think, might be the reliance on self-motivation.
Yeah, good point.
With online programs,
Yeah.
the onus is on the individual to carve out the time
Right.
and put in the effort to engage with the material.
Online programs like this require a certain level of commitment
Right.
and self-discipline to
Yeah.
really get the most out of them. There's no external accountability or structure, which can be a challenge for some people.
So it definitely requires a proactive approach.
It does.
But for those who are motivated
Yeah.
and ready to put in the work, Master Your OCD seems to offer a pretty comprehensive and accessible path to recovery.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the affordability factor,
Right.
compared to the often, steep cost of traditional therapy.
Yeah.
This program is really a game changer.
Hmm.
It makes effective OCD treatment accessible
Sure.
to a much wider range of people.
That affordability is a huge plus.
Yeah.
So what strikes you as the most compelling aspect of this program so far?
For me, it's that combination of evidence-based techniques,
Okay.
practical tools, and compassionate support.
Mhm.
It goes beyond just providing information. It
Yep.
empowers individuals
Yeah.
by giving them the tools and the confidence they need to reclaim their lives from OCD.
I love that it's about more than just managing symptoms.
Exactly.
It's about fostering a sense of control and agency.
Yes, and that's what I think makes this program so promising. It
Yeah.
instills hope
Yeah.
and reminds people that recovery is possible,
Mhm.
that they don't have to let OCD define them.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have.
Are you ready to move on to the final part?
Absolutely. Let's wrap things up and see what final thoughts and questions come up.
As we wrap up our deep dive into Master Your OCD,
Yeah.
it's clear this program offers a lot
Mm-hmm.
for individuals looking to understand and manage their OCD.
It does.
We've explored its structure content approach,
Yeah.
and it's been pretty insightful.
It has. We've seen how it kind of blends those evidence-based techniques like exposure and response prevention with those practical tools and the supportive community and the guidance of an experienced OCD specialist.
Right. And they've incorporated, those compelling personal stories throughout the website.
Oh, yeah.
Those testimonials from people
Right.
who've used the program and noticed, significant improvements in their lives really highlight the potential impact
Mm-hmm.
that Master Your OCD can have.
It's one thing to hear about the science and techniques,
Right.
but it's quite another to hear from real people
Yeah.
who've walked this path and come out the other side.
Right.
It just adds that human touch.
So coming back to our initial question,
Yeah.
could Master Your OCD be a valuable resource for you or someone you know?
Based on what we've discussed,
Yeah.
I'd say it has the potential to be a really powerful tool for those seeking to take control of their OCD and live, richer, more fulfilling lives.
Sure.
Of course, it's important to remember
Yeah.
that this program isn't a one-size-fits-all solution,
Right.
and it doesn't replace professional therapy if that's what someone needs.
That's an important point.
It
It's
is.
about finding what works best for each individual.
Exactly. But for those who are ready to embark on that journey of recovery,
Right.
seeking an accessible and affordable way to manage their OCD, Master Your OCD, seems like a really promising option.
We encourage you to check out the link you shared
Yeah.
to learn more
Definitely.
and maybe even take that first step towards a life
Good
less
stuff.
burdened by OCD.
As you embark on this journey,
Yeah.
here's something to ponder. How might understanding and addressing your OCD empower you to live a life more aligned with your values, your goals, and your true self?
It's a question worth reflecting on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
We catch you next time.